are not ready for prime time.
Prime time.
Prime time.
Prime time. That's the name.
Prime time.
Prime time.
What time is it? Showtime prime time.
It's XL Prime Time, featuring Joe C.
I reduced my toilet paper down to 3 squares.
Matt Hayes.
Big asses and big thighs, yeah.
And Leon Searcy.
Bringing you love, peace, and soul.
Oh, we got some soul. Good to be back on a Monday, and good to see all the charitable work that's being done here at the Walkoff Charities Classic. Deer Creek Country Club. We are hanging out, and we got the whole crew back together. I'm back from Nash Vegas. We had a good time, and the whole crew of 1010 has definitely been out here much of the day. Definitely just kind of growing the youth of Jacksonville on the baseball diamond. And we always say it every single year we're here. How cool is it? We'll say hello to Frank coming up in just a bit. But fellas, as I'm back hanging out with you guys, you walk around, you see all the people that are supporting Walkoff Charities, Leon and Matt, and you know that these youngsters are going to get a little treat. Some summer baseball, get to compete in the leagues and all kinds of stuff.
Some
it's cool.
gloves, some cleats. Yeah,
the whole uniform, man, and all that stuff.
The whole
for sure.
thing, man. It's that great feel over the breaking field. I mean, what could be better than that?
No.
Growing up and hanging out in the summer and playing ball.
Yeah. And you know, Frank's a giver.
He is a giver.
He was a community guy.
Yeah.
You know, it's always good to give back.
Yeah, and it definitely has been his passion.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And I'm glad we're here to support him.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely glad here to support. I was a little concerned about when we was coming this way for the golf tournament. I didn't know what time it started because I know what I drove through to get here. And it was pouring down rain. But we talked to Frank. When we got here, he said, everybody got in, everybody was good. So,
everybody got the round in.
Everybody got the round in, so that's what matters.
It was funny because JJ said, bring a raincoat. I'm thinking, it doesn't look like it's rain.
Exactly.
I'm like, what is he, the new Burrish of XL Primetime or something?
JJ, I totally disregarded you. I swear, when I saw that text, I was like, come on, JJ. I'm looking at sunny skies, but JJ, you were right. Absolutely.
Yeah, he was. That prophetic so-and-so. Yeah. But everything, as Leon just said, they're in there doing awards and all that kind of stuff. They got a live auction that's still going on that we'll be telling you about. You can definitely get in on some cool stuff. But we got plenty to get into from the weekend. And then I'll also get into what's going to come up tomorrow, and then 3 days worth of Jaguars mini camp, which it's funny. We went through this time the last couple of years, and the mandatory minicamp wasn't necessarily mandatory. Mm-hmm. As long as the guys got their work in. Do you remember that?
I remember that. I remember how disgusted we were by it, too.
Yeah. The
first year, I was really disgusted by it. Yeah. But then when we went to the playoffs and had success, when he did it the next year, I kind of figured that he knew what he was doing. Because the first year, they came off a terrible season. I said, you don't reward terrible. You don't reward bad play.
Yeah.
So then he gave it them off, and then we went to the playoffs. The next year, I was a little bit more subtle.
Yeah.
Because of the success they had in the playoffs. So I didn't say much. But that was Doug trusting his team to be professional.
Yeah.
Right.
Because he let all the veterans go. Remember? Didn't he let all the veterans go?
Yes.
He allowed the rookies had to stay or something like that?
He would use a few he would take the week for a few guys that were coming back from injury or needed a little extra work. And the one I remember last year, because I'll also remind you, Leon, that it was indoors last year for minicamp.
I
okay?
remember that.
Not out under the sun or anything like that, which we know drives Leon crazy. The one guy I do remember was Devon Hamilton, because he was trying to get his work in, to get his body back up, weight-wise, strength-wise, all that kind of stuff. And there were a few other maybe second-year guys or whatever that were out there. But by no means was it a mandatory mini camp where everyone showed up. So what do you think will be different this year, Matt, versus what we have? Let's just go from that staff to this staff. I would think most everybody's going to be there.
So, yes, I don't disagree with that. But we were talking about last week, when you were gallivanting around being the key grip.
I got to tell you about it. It was so
good
fun.
for you, by the way. Congratulations.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a lot like the OTAs. Very similar. I think the work will be a lot like the OTAs.
Okay.
Maybe a little more higher tempo. Maybe a little more serious about the competition. But I think it's going to be just like that. I don't think they're going to do anything different than the drills they were working. We're gonna have to wait until the pads actually come on, before we see if Wyatt Milan can be a guy that can beat out Ezra Cleveland. Before we can see who the 3 or 4 receiver is.
Right.
The things like that we're gonna have to wait on before we can see if Jack Kaiser really is a legit threat at middle linebacker. So yeah, this will be interesting. There's no doubt it'll be great. for the fans to finally get their eyes on the guys.
Yeah.
To get to see Travis Hunter. And I was saying last week, and Leon and I were talking about this. You can say Travis Hunter and you can say Trevor Lawrence, but man, number 7 is the best player in that team, and it's not even close. And he's a grown man. He looks really, really good right now.
Yeah.
Now, and here's the thing. If I'm Liam Cohen, I'm going to shake the tree a little bit because he probably can assess that this team over the last couple of years under Doug probably got days off, Veterans Day. So what I'm going to address it in the team meeting room. I'm saying, look here. I'm saying we got 3 good days ahead of us. We got to get Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and then after that they got 5 weeks off, bro.
Yeah.
So so you can give me 3 days of good work,
Good
execution,
Yeah.
crispness, enthusiasm, attention to detail for those 3 days, and now you're off for 5 weeks.
Right.
So I would love. I'm not in the meeting room, so I'm just I'm assessing that he may say something like that. But if I know anything about this new regime, they're about their business, and I don't believe they're going to give them any days off. I believe they're going to get their work in Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then they're going to say, okay, you're going for the next 5 weeks, but have the same mindset that you had for this week in training camp.
Yeah.
I mean, mini camp. Come training camp 5 weeks from now.
Because I got to believe there's a reason why mandatory minicamp comes at the end of OTAs, because that's your last chance to speak to your team and say, this is what we want to look like when we come back, instead of saying, hey, why don't you go ahead and start your vacay early? You got your Airbnb confirmation number? I mean, that was just a bunch of crap.
It was.
And look, there's you already know this compared to what you guys had. There's already limited time and practice that they get to work with these guys compared to what you guys had back then because of the collective bargaining agreement. But you need to install attitude, expectation, all that stuff as far as when you are here, this is what we're doing.
You need reps, bro. You need reps. There's no substitute for reps. I mean, good ones or bad ones.
Yeah.
Because the good ones, yes, we applaud them. The bad ones, they're correctable. So the coaching staff understands that. They got limited time on the field. So when they got bad reps, they're teaching points. So that's what when Matt and I were out there, we saw that when there was something that went bad, it didn't go undone. They leaped right on it. And then they had guys do it right over again. So that's what you need. There's no substitute for that. Because listen, the real stuff, I mean, Basile called it fake football. The fake football is almost over. Okay? After this week, the fake football is over. When we get to training camp, it's about the pass. It's about getting yourself mentally and physically to endure what's ahead, which is the season.
Yeah. It is. It's as simple as that. All right, so who are you going to have your eye on? And we'll do this over the next 2 or 3 days, of course. But you just said that Brian Thomas looks like the most gifted player ready to
He's the best guy on that team.
ascend. Now, if we go back.
And I don't think it's close, actually. He's the best player in that team.
I don't even know. Like, this might be a here comes the judge. Get ready for it tomorrow.
I don't think Leon's going to disagree either. So it might be me and him against you, Judge.
Yeah. Because I think you probably both feel the same.
Oh, yeah.
When
we were both out there going, okay, this dude is here, and the rest of them are kind of down here.
Yeah, and just some of the little moves that he is making in his route running and what he's going to now be able to add. Remember, when he first came in from LSU, there wasn't Brian Thomas and the route tree. It was basically to the house, okay? Because remember, he led the NCAA with the most touchdowns, I think tied for tops in most touchdowns last year at LSU. What were a lot of them? Just the go route. It was just basically outfox the defender at the line of scrimmage and then go beat him speed-wise. Now he's got a route tree that he's going to be hopefully doing a little bit more.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be, and believe me, if you're going out there Wednesday, watch him. I would watch Kaiser too.
Yeah,
I think Jack Kaiser's a legit threat at a linebacker spot. Look at Devin Lloyd. Devin Lloyd's awesome. What do you think, Leon? 25 pounds, 30 pounds?
Yeah, at least.
Devin Lloyd looks, I mean, like a different person. A different person. He even looks thinner than he did when he first got here. So clearly he has an idea of what he needs to do this year.
How do you maintain strength?
This is a money year for him. So
it is a money year.
This is it for him.
Well, here's what I'm trying to assess now. Were these guys just wanting to lose weight, or were they told to lose weight? I mean, because the coaching staff watches the film, and then if they watch the film and they see you slow and lethargic, maybe this coaching staff say, "Hey, listen, you can't play with us this heavy." Because Josh Allen said the same thing. Devin Lloyd, all these guys are losing all this weight.
I would love it if that's what they said.
I hope that he gave them a memo, and I've watched film. He said, "Hey, listen, I've seen y'all on film. You're too heavy.
Yeah.
You got to come back in camp lighter." So, I mean, these guys just don't go out and say they're going to lose 20, 35 pounds. Somebody had to tell them.
No, and the other thing is that Tony Baselli told a great story whenever they did make the acquisition for the strength and conditioning coach and plucked him from Buffalo, just about the energy that guy brings to the table. And throwing it back to you, what that strength and conditioning, either the head of strength and conditioning or the actual team of trainers, how big an impact can they have on a football team in the offseason?
Well, I mean, the game is about strength, endurance, and recovery. All right? You want to maintain your strength, your endurance to go a long time, and then the recovery part of it. So those are the three aspects that you definitely got to be involved in if you're a player. And if you're on top of all three of those things, you're gonna have a pretty good season.
Right.
But it's incumbent upon you to listen to what even nutrition. You can include nutrition as well. So all those things factor in on how long and how well you played the season.
Right. And so if they do, and basically between the two of them, they met, they talked to their coaches, they talked to the strength and conditioning staff, and they basically said, look, like what you're suggesting, coaches on film watch everything, and they go, you know what, you need to play lighter, bro. You need to be more physical. You need to do this, this, and this. But can you maintain that strength, and can you drop weight? And can you pick up speed by dropping weight? I don't know the 100% true answer to that. For every player, it might be different. But you got to still maintain your speed and your strength by drop some weight.
Hey, listen, and being in Florida, that's hard. I'm not gonna lie to you. That sun is baking. I mean, you can lose 5 to 7 pounds in practice if you don't eat right and hydrate right. So I mean, for bigger guys, it's a hassle to keep that weight, to keep the offensive line weight on, because you're going to be sweating every day.
Right.
Yeah, so it's going to be tougher for bigger guys. I think the lighter guys are probably able to endure it a little bit more because, if you're a big fella, you're just trying to survive. And we went out there, we saw a couple of them with their hands on the hips.
Already.
Yeah.
I'll give you another guy to look for, Tyson Campbell.
Okay,
who,
yeah.
I think he's in the best shape he's ever been in, and he's always been a guy that's been in really good shape.
Yeah.
But he looks phenomenal right now. Phenomenal. I was saying last week, if you want to put together the perfect corner, size, weight, wingspan, the way he can run, physicalness and run support, he's it.
Yeah.
He's it.
Yeah.
If he just stays healthy, he can literally be one of the top 5 corners in the game.
And technique-wise, he's improved, but he still isn't getting his hands on the ball and coming away with it. So that's that next step for whoever the coaching staff is, too. And my gosh, man, they need to figure it out on that side of the ball, how to just basically drill down on all the basics, the pass-off, which we talk about all the time, figuring out a bunch screen, not getting picked, all this kind of stuff. So anyway, that part of it's going to be a big deal as well. All right, Mocama Beer Company, they bring you today's show. We say thanks to them. They're up in beautiful Fernandina Beach, South 8th Street, right as you're entering the historic district, and also over in Wildlight. And you will love you some Mocama craft beer. They serve it Tuesday through Sunday. They're open every day of the week, serving that delicious coffee as well in their tap room and over in Wildlight. You can just check out Mocama.com and pick some up if you're heading out to Total, ABC, or Publix. Some delicious craft beer locally brewed for you. All right, so I need to tell you guys about Nash Vegas. We need to get into the NBA Finals. It's now even 1-1 between OKC and Indiana, so we'll get into all that coming up right here on XL Primetime.
Join the 1010XL Podcast Network.
Okay, excellent show, everyone.
Now you can find all your favorite 1010XL podcasts in your platform of choice.
Hey, Hicken here. I couldn't be any happier than to join the George Moore Chevrolet family. When I say family, I mean it. Visit their beautiful showroom today off Atlantic Boulevard. Find out exactly what I'm talking about. No pressure, just friendly help. And whether you want a car, a truck, SUV, electric, pre-owned, you name it, George Moore Chevrolet has it. And if you can't make it over to Atlantic Boulevard, no problem. MooreChevy.com is easy to navigate as any site you will try. It's never been more easy to use. George Moore Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Have you been diagnosed with moderate to severe opioid use disorder? You may qualify for a new clinical research study. Dr. Ferdinand Formoso is now enrolling participants to evaluate the effectiveness of a non-opioid medication treatment option for OUD. Qualified participants will receive study-related care at no cost and may be eligible for reimbursement of travel and accommodations. To qualify, applicants must be 18 to 65 years old, have been diagnosed with moderate to severe opioid use disorder, and have not been on medication to treat opioid use in the last 3 months. The study lasts up to 22 weeks, with weekly visits during treatment. If you're ready to explore a new path forward, visit OUDstudy.com for more details and qualifications. Take the first steps and visit OUDstudy.com. That's OUDstudy.com. OUDstudy.com.
As a Florida homeowner, you're no stranger to mosquito problems. And although it's tempting to use DIY methods to get rid of them, mosquitoes are relentless. That's why it's important to enlist the help of the mosquito experts at Florida Pest Control. At Florida Pest Control, we offer specialized treatment solutions that are effective against mosquito infestations and are committed to keeping our customers protected year-round. For your free quote, give us a call or visit flapest.com today. Florida Pest Control, your local mosquito control experts.
Storms don't wait, so why should you? Protect your home and your wallet with Universal Roof and Contracts. Save 15% on roof replacements and repairs now through June 30th. And financing is available with payments as low as $115. Call 855-ROOF-HELP for your free inspection. Universal Roof and Contracting. Protecting your home, building your trust. License number CCC 057165, CBC 1258484.
UniversalRoof.com.
Denny Thompson here. If you haven't heard, Tyson Sound & Security has a house built right inside their showroom, showcasing complete home automation and security systems. You have to see it to believe it. This setup can recognize intruders who approach your door and alerts them to leave if there's a break-in. Keep your family safe with the most state-of-the-art technology. Tyson Sound & Security, your security, home theater, and home automation experts. New showroom at 3555 U.S. Highway 17 in Fleming Island.
Right now, they're on their way to disrupt your life, make you uncomfortable, and rob you. Don't bother calling the police. They can't help. That's right. Summer heat and humidity are about to attack North Florida again. You know what to do. Call Mike Merritt. Mike Merritt's Heating and Air has a license to chill. When heat and humidity are attacking you, Mike Merritt provides a comfortable chill at a bargain price. Mike has been keeping North Florida comfortable for 30 years. Mike Merritt technicians are never paid commissions, meaning you'll never be pressured to buy something you don't need. And Mike Merritt knows cooling issues can arise anytime. They don't just happen during business hours. So Mike Merritt never charges overtime fees. When you need us, we're here for you. Remember, in the fight against heat and humidity, Mike Merritt has a license to chill. Visit merrittair.com. Florida license number CACO 50384.
He used to cover the Jags. Now he's a CBS Sports senior NFL writer.
Well, I believe he got everybody's attention.
He's Pete Prisco. Friday afternoons on The Frangie Show. Brought to you by Showtime Sports Cards and Collectibles on 1010XL.
They were right. It could have waited. I can't believe it happened to me. Reaching to check my phone. Now my family has to hear that I'm never coming home again.
Officer?
I'm so sorry. I have some very sad news to share with you.
Every day, 9 people on Florida roadways don't make it home. I was one of the people that didn't make it home.
Ride with Do Not Disturb. Every trip, every time. Let's get everyone home safely. A message from Florida Department of Transportation, Target Zero. For more information, visit targetzerofl.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Mondays on XL Primetime, brought to you by Mokama. Check out their great craft in the tap room in Fernandina Beach.
JJ throwing a little Zach Brown our way. Thank you, sir. What a great treat to be able to watch these guys perform live. And It was part of CMA Fest, and we were at Old Red right there on Broadway, the heart of all that just crazy action. And when the CMA Fest is there, it's even crazier. Listen, somebody sold some boots to cowgirls that week, okay? Somebody sold some hats to cowgirls that week, okay?
Really?
My gosh, man.
Really?
But Old Red, which is the Blake Shelton bar, which the son-in-law who moved way up in the power rankings. Sorry, Jordan, but Joey moved way up in the power rankings. He's one of the he's sound engineer at Old Red. And so anyway, that's part of the Ryman Auditorium, Grand Ole Opry, and then Old Red. They have Category 10, which is a Luke Combs bar. Anyway, they got all kinds of stuff. And so they basically turned Old Red into Spotify House. And it's all the artists that are on Spotify that shine. And I showed Matt and Leon the list. And so I get there Thursday. We fly in. I go to the corner pub, make sure I get me a couple of cold ones, some good wings, and then I get ready, game face on.
Yeah.
So I get dropped off down on Broadway around 4:30, something like that. Basically, went in there and just said, well, I'll do whatever you guys want me to do. And they're all engineer guys. They know what they're doing. But you have to take every band, and they bring their own keyboards, guitars, mandolins, as we saw Skoggs in here earlier, everything that they would play, fiddles, everything. They want to connect to all the electronics.
Yeah, it's a complete rebuild.
It's every single band that gets torn down.
Yeah.
And so you got to basically jump on stage, make sure everything's good to go. And so I was showing the fellas these. And so we went from Gavin Adcock, a good up-and-comer, Sam Barber, who just played at the Amp, really good. Bailey Zimmerman's playing 2 nights at the Amp coming up. But we went Zach Brown Band, Parker McCollum, Riley Green, and the women love Riley Green. Then Eric Church did a cappella, cleared the entire stage, just him and his guitar. That was it. And a cold drink.
Nice.
Okay. And
I bet that was really good.
And then finished with Marshmallow, which was just bizarre as all get out. And look, I would like to know who the cool people are that knew about Marshmallow and knew all about him, but I knew very little about him. It was a trip. And then Saturday, it was Blake Shelton opening things up to begin the final night of CMA
wife
Fest.
or without wife?
Gwen was there but didn't get on stage.
Okay.
So she was stage side, which is a question that TLD definitely wanted to know about. Was Gwen going to be there? And so Blake, Megan Maroney, who was fantastic, Rascal Flatts, always good, Carly Pierce, Cole Swindell. Swindell was at the Players 2 years ago performing. Loved it so much that he came back this year to hang out. And then Shabuzi, I swear, just brought the house down. Shabuzi was unreal. And then Lainey Wilson, who was fantastic.
Okay, hang on 1 second.
And then Jordan Davis.
Hang on 1 second.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you one question. It's a simple question, okay?
Yeah.
I want a one-word response.
Yeah.
Lainey Wilson.
Yeah.
That's your response?
Yeah.
That's your one word? It's just yeah?
Yeah, that is my one word. It's
not phenomenal or
but I would
spectacular?
Well, I would say yes to that, yes to that, yes to that. So I showed Matt and Lee on the video earlier. This is all you need to know about Lainey. And they opened up a bar with Lainey Wilson as another one of the bars on Broadway that she's in the middle of her performance, and she is just decked out. She's looking great, putting on a great show, and then somebody in the audience leans in and says, "You want to do a shot?" And she says, "Well, let's do it together." And so she went and got whiskey from the stage side.
Marry her now.
Exactly. She said she didn't tell the lady was like, "Can I buy you a shot?" And she says, "Oh no, I'm gonna buy you a shot." And so she goes over there stage side, gets a couple of nice solo cups. Gets them a little brown on the bottom of each one of them, and she talks about some breakup song that she was about to play, and they both shot their whiskey, and then she went right back into her song. So that's all you really need to know about Lainey Wilson. But Shabuzi was unbelievable. He really was. Jordan Davis was great. He was just at the Players, and so many other ones. It was a real treat. And so basically, like I was saying, you got to just get them up and down, on and off the stage, and then they go through their sound check and all that kind of stuff. But it was just so much fun, and people are just all over Broadway and then all over at the stadium. The CMA Fest, they had Keith Urban and all of them performing. I think they had 2 nights of concerts at the stadium. And this goes to one other thing that we've been talking about a bunch. Whenever the stadium does happen, the opportunity to have big events like that with what they're trying to create downtown is just going to help. And it's not like they're going to bring a big event like that to Jacksonville. Right now, Nashville, from an entertainment point of view, crushes us. Okay, there's no getting away from it. They have the Predators right downtown. They're building the new stadium for the Titans, and then they're going to tear the other one down. So they're doing it differently because they have state funding.
They're doing it correctly.
Well, no. They have state funding.
I know. Whatever. Yeah. They're doing it correctly. They're building, then they're tearing down.
Well, whenever you say correctly, it'd be nice if you could, but you can't. And I'd rather have a brand new stadium that's going to cost $2 billion instead of $4 billion, which is basically what it's going to be. And I'm not blowing flowers or kisses towards the Titans. Hell no. I ain't doing that.
I'm not blowing flowers or kisses. I'm just saying they're doing it the right way. That's all.
Yeah, it's just unfortunate that this state doesn't have those dollars to give to the teams, whereas that state does. They do it. And heck, the Chiefs are fighting right now, and the Royals, with the state of Missouri. And Kansas is over there waving their hand going, we'll take care of you. It is, after all, named Kansas City, the Royals and the Chiefs. But anyway, there's just so much down there that's happening. And it's just, it is a lively downtown. And the people that live there don't necessarily go down to Broadway. It's all these tourists and everybody that are going to come in.
The state of Tennessee contributed $500 million.
Yeah. It's quite a bit.
To that new facility.
Yeah, and then they have the tax where they're collecting, because if you want to check out the taxes that are in Tennessee right now, they're up there a little bit. They're collecting on pretty much everything. That's for sure. But this city did a great job by making sure there was enough money to do it, and do it where you're just basically away from Duval for 1 year, and hopefully it'll come out great. I believe it will. We had some Jaguar fans that were in town. Shout out to those that reached out to. So I'm in Franklin, Tennessee, and we've been hanging out, walking around, and I walk into, it was Whiskey and Burgers was the bar. And I walk in, I'm looking around, and wasn't exactly what I was thinking. I couldn't remember if I had been there before. Anyway, I looked around, then I walked back out. Next thing you know, Joey, one of the diehard Jaguar fans, and also one of the supporters of 1010XL with IBEW, the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers. He was in Franklin, and he said, did you just walk in and out of a bar? I'm like, that's not like me. Wait a minute. And so he said, yeah. And so anyway, we ended up flying back with him, a few others that were flying back from CMA Fest, and so there was a bunch of Jacksonville flavor up there in thatville, having a good time. But it was a bunch of fun, that's for sure. All right, NBA Finals last night, big 16-point win.
Yeah. Kind of what I was expecting.
Yeah, boring. That's what we thought Game 1 would kind of be like. Did we not?
Yeah. I mean, listen, I picked OKC to win at 6.
Okay.
And it kind of lulled me to sleep a little bit in Game 1.
Yeah.
A little surprising. You're up 15 with 9 minutes to go and you lose the game. You're up 9 with 3 minutes to go and you lose the game. And I think in this game, Game 2, listen, when you're the best player on the court, you got to play like it. That's what he's the best player on the court. And last night I saw him score. I saw him aggressive at the basket. I saw him facilitate, assist. I think he had help from your boy Caruso showed up.
Yeah.
He scored some points. Your boy Wiggins scored up.
I'm down on him, and you know that.
Yeah.
He's doing it somewhere else anymore.
Exactly. Where was that in the Lakers?
Yeah, exactly.
But no, I expected, and JJ talked about this too. He said that he wouldn't be surprised if OKC just kills them in Game 2. And that's what happened. They beat them. They beat them nice. Now it's a series. Now we go back to Indiana and see what happens.
Apparently they're as good as any in NBA history in bounce-back wins in these situations. And they were something in the neighborhood of 30-2 when you had to bounce back like this. And between SGA and Williams, and you could throw Holmgren in there because he kind of got hot as it went along. But those other two to begin the game basically set the tone. They really did. and we'll see where it goes. JJ, do you change? What was your pick, by the way? As far
I had
as
OKC in 5, and if I had to pick again, like now, I'd probably just say 6. I think Indiana probably wins another one, but I wouldn't be shocked if OKC just flat out wins 4 in a row. I mean, their defense is insane, man. And Halliburton, you got to be a lot better. I mean, you make the shot at the end of the game, but besides that,
they rattled him.
He hasn't really done anything. And he decides in the fourth quarter to finally be aggressive and start taking more shots, take it to the basket. The game was out of reach by then. It was over. So he basically had 2 points the whole game, and they lost. But if you were an Indiana Pacer and they asked you after game 2, would you take 1-1? Of course they would. So, I mean, it's better than I expected at this point.
Yeah, at least we have a series that kicks back into the heartland. So we'll see where it goes from there. But it's definitely been an interesting watch the first couple of games. And we were talking about Thursday night, and we were watching it just kind of out of the corner of our eye. And then for them to pull that off the way Indiana did at the end of the game, and you guys talked about it on Friday, but that Halliburton shot was, holy smokes. And then the strength of OKC defensively, and then the triumvirate of those 3 guys, Williams, Holmgren, and of course SGA, definitely took control. All right, so we got plenty to get into as far as the college world is concerned, so let's do that coming up here. Matt, you've been following the house settlement case, and everything's been coming down. We knew it would come down, so let's jump in on it coming up here in just a second. XL Primetime, Mokama Beer Company Monday, as we come to you from Deer Creek Country Club with the Walkoff Charities Classic. You can still log on to Walkoff Charities and see all the auction items that they have right now that will be going until 6 o'clock tonight. When the Frangie show signs off, that's when that auction will end. Take advantage of it.
This is 1010XL.
Hell, you could say that 10,000 times and it still wouldn't be enough.
It fires me up, man.
I love it. Say it one more time.
This is 1010XL.
I'm Chris Campione. Veterans have given so much in the service of our country, but when it comes to legal challenges, you shouldn't have to fight alone. At Campione Law, we're here to help veterans like you get the support and compensation you deserve. Whether it's a workplace injury, a personal injury claim, or navigating a veteran's disability claim, we'll stand by your side every step of the way. Your service to our country matters. Let us serve you with the dedication and respect you deserve. Call Campione Law for a free consultation today. Campione Law, fighting for veterans, fighting for justice. Visit CampioneLaw.com.
Campione Law.
Your home is more than walls and a roof. It's where you breathe, drink, and power through life. At Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing, we're here to keep it all running smoothly. From clean, cool air to clean water, reliable power to expert plumbing, we do it all. For over 35 years, families have trusted Donovan to make their homes healthier, safer, and more comfortable. Call Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing today, 904-270-COOL, where health meets home.
You tired of high energy bills? Replace those inefficient windows and patio doors now. Don't miss Renewal by Anderson's 30th anniversary sale. Buy one window or patio door and get one 30% off. Financing options are available and this offer expires June 30th. Renewal by Anderson, proud partner of the Florida Gators. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com to schedule your free consultation.
License number CGC 1527613.
Collisions happen on every play in football. Collisions also happen every day on the road. If you need auto body repair, from a $30 job to a $30,000 job, trust San Jose Collision in Mandarin.
Have you got concrete or asphalt rubble piling up? Arcosa Crushed Concrete will pay you for it and recycle it. They're just minutes from Everbank Stadium on Talleyrand. Call Arcosa Crushed Concrete and get paid for what you don't need. ArcosaCrushedConcrete.com.
It's the event everyone waits for. Now at Beard's Diamonds. Buy one, get one free on all wedding bands. Now for a limited time, when you buy his wedding band, get hers free. Buy hers, get his free. Save up to $10,000. Are you about to get married or been married for years thinking it's time for an upgrade? There's nothing that symbolizes your love more than the wedding band. Beard's has hundreds and hundreds of bands from top designers in white gold, yellow gold, rose gold, titanium, platinum, plain bands, channel set bands, pave set, eternity bands. And for men, masculine bands, wide, modern, with and without diamonds, hammered, brushed, engraved, lots of colors. Come to Beards now and find the wedding band that reflects your style and your personality. Buy one, get the second one free. The big box corporate jewelry stores can't or won't do this, but Beards can. And it's happening now through June 23rd. Buy one wedding band, get the second one free. Don't miss this opportunity to celebrate your eternal love with the eternal symbol, Beards Diamonds, at St. John's Town Center.
This date in sports history is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On June 9th, 1985, the Los Angeles Lakers beat the Boston Celtics in Game 6 of the NBA Finals, with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar winning the Finals MVP.
Hey, Jacksonville, I'm sure by now you've seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We are an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We are committed to customer service, reliability, and have unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today. GFL, green for life.
Jacksonville, you know a good defense wins games, and a good fence protects your home. Frank Frangie here. Coil Fencing has been around the block since 1927. Literally, they've probably fenced it too. From tough chain link to sleek aluminum fences your HOA will love, Coil is the name to trust. Nearly a century strong and still standing tall. Call Coil today. You can trust them. Call 904-356-4821 or visit coiljacks.com. That's COYLE Jacks.com.
A lot of companies will tell you they're the best. At Custom Tree Surgeons, they show you every time. Custom Tree Surgeons has built an all-pro team. Every tree service professional has years of experience, continually trained and certified. They know what, when, and how to handle any job. It gets done efficiently and quickly by a team of experts. So for tree trimming, removal, stump grinding, and emergency services, forget any name other than Custom Tree Surgeons. There is no job they can't do better. Go to our website, CustomTreeSurgeons.com. That's CustomTreeSurgeons.com. And let them show you how the job is supposed to get done.
1010XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. The Weekend Rewind. Brought to you by Cycles of Jacksonville, the big boy toy store for big boy toys.
What happened this weekend? Sovereignty takes down journalism again.
Sovereignty angles out to try and run him down. It's a rematch of the Kentucky Derby as they come to the 8th bowl. And here comes Sovereignty. Sovereignty goes right by journalism once again, leaving absolutely no doubt who the best 3-year-old in the world is.
The Panthers even the series. The Braves suck.
Get on the ground. Elby kicks it. Here comes Yastrzemski, and the Giants take the lead.
An instant classic of Roland Garros.
It's over. Carlos Alcaraz reigns in Roland Garros.
SGA dominates.
Gildas Alexander off the bounce, gets inside, double clutch, counted out a foul. Chance for a three-point play.
We really did have a lot of good stuff. And look, if you are a sports fan and you consume more than football, and there was a smorgasbord, a buffet of stuff, if you will, because you go to the Belmont, and it was really a much-discussed deal about whether or not Sovereignty, after not running the Preakness, would run the Belmont. And the interesting side note is that it wasn't at Belmont, which is a mile and a half, which is a grueler, a SOB of a race. Yet they made the decision because it was at Saratoga, and they're rebuilding Belmont, and so it's a mile and a quarter, much more to the liking of Sovereignty. Anyway, awesome there. The French Open, when you think about what was going on, did you guys happen to see any of this on social? And because I know people would tune in.
5-hour match?
Yeah, people would tune in just to catch some of it. It was longer than that, was it not?
Five
it was
and a half
6 hours. Yeah, 5.5. It was. And so I was just looking at some of the notes. They said 3 championship points in hand when it went center 6-4, 7-6. Then Alcaraz comes back with a 6-4 win. Then they go 5-3 in the fourth, and you're thinking he's up 40 love. He's up 40 love, center is, okay? At that point, he was minus 50,000 to win. And Alcaraz was plus 6,500. And then ultimately, Alcaraz went on to win. Incredible. Incredible. That's how big of you call it, an upset, safe to say. And then everything else that went on with the College World Series. I was telling Leon and Matt, JJ, earlier that when I shot you something on Friday, and I was hanging out at a brewery called Monday Night, and I sat down with a good IPA, and it was 0-0 Louisville, Miami. And then by the time I finished that IPA, it was like 7-2, and they just
that was game one, right?
Yeah, that was game one.
Miami fought back and won game two, and then they were honestly a hit away from tying it up in the ninth yesterday. But just after having their first losing season since the 50s last year, to be one game away from Omaha was just a great season for the Canes in baseball.
Serge, you said you watched the entire game.
I did, and unfortunately, I can't watch anymore because I decided to watch Canes baseball, and the time I watch Canes baseball, they lose the freaking game.
So you invested, and now you're no longer an investor.
No, I was listen.
That's a difficult watch too, college baseball.
It is a difficult watch.
Yeah.
But when I was in school, our baseball team was hell.
Yeah.
I mean, they were winning national championships like we were.
Yeah.
So we had nothing but much respect for them.
4 national titles for Miami. By the way.
gosh!
Yeah,
and in good news, better news, Florida State also got bounced. So they once again will not win the College World Series.
Y'all just love the soaking other people's.
No, I'm just saying I feel better now. I can sleep well at night.
Yeah, that's true. You need misery loves company. That's why that was a catchy saying that stuck. That's for sure. And especially if you don't get to celebrate, you want to make sure someone else is not as well. That is for sure. All right, back to JJville.
That just happened. Brought to you by Florida Home AC, the official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
All right, we have a veteran for the Jags who just signed a contract extension. Some would say he's been the best Jag over the last 10 years. Logan Cook. 4-year extension.
That's a good one.
Good for him.
If you're going to be what this team has been, you need a punter.
Yeah.
You need a punter.
Yeah.
and I saw. Let me see if I have this.
Well, you have a team last year who the punter was probably the MVP of the team.
No, BTJ. Come on.
Well.
Let me tell you something.
You gonna give it to a rookie?
Instead of
1,200 yards receiving with a guy
Logan
to a punter
over the
No, I'm just saying you're gonna slide a guy who went to the
here's what.
Yeah, I am.
I actually don't think he had a great year last year, which was like the first time in a while.
Yeah, it was a little different last year and not quite as automatic or matter of fact whenever you saw that your team had gone 3 and out that you were going to at least pin the other team a little deeper. But it's so funny, and Leon can appreciate this on the 5th quarter. You guys ran out of special teams players of the week, okay? And it had to be Logan Cook. And instead of MVP, it was minutes played, okay? That's what it was. And so Cook was out there every single time doing his job, doing work.
Yeah.
At the very least.
Listen, when your team is terrible, you're going to have a fond appreciation for special teams, all right? Me and Heck had to endure it.
Yeah.
Absolutely endure it.
And now you at least have a little excitement with Cam Little. At least a little excitement. Big leg, little name. So that one you can at least look forward to because maybe he'll be the next special teams second contract guy. Trent Baalke's like I told you. I found him. He was a gem in the 6th round. All right, so the contract for Logan Cook in. All right, a couple of other things that we were just going to get into. Let's do it real quick because we hope to see the quarterback whisperer in person, Denny Thompson, in the 3 o'clock hour. But the House settlement had been talked about a bunch. Matt, with your work at USA Today, and they've been, I don't know how many things you've written on it, but it was coming. We knew it was coming, and boom, it's now here. What does it mean, and how many more dollars are going to become available for these players, and which of these teams, or schools, are going to be able to handle it?
So beginning with this season, they can start paying their players right now because July 1 is the beginning of the fiscal year.
Yeah.
So beginning this year, schools can start paying players through NIL, through their own NIL. It's basically pay for play is what it is. Okay. But they're calling it NIL. There's a salary pool of $20.5 million to $23 million, depending on what happens with various metrics you reach. These 8 key metrics they have where they're getting cash from. So it's that area. That's the area you're looking at. and you have to pay all athletes. You don't have to, but that's for all athletes. Okay.
That's capped. What you're saying.
You cannot spend any more than that. Correct.
Okay.
So 75% of that for most schools is going to be football, and then probably 15% to men's basketball, 5 to women's basketball, and 5 to all the other sports. But that doesn't mean all the other sports are going to get scholarships. So,
I know, because right now, soccer kid, baseball player, gymnast, whatever,
softball,
any of them,
all that.
They're going to be going. Where's ours? Now,
right.
Give me those last numbers. Because
75% to football, 15% to men's basketball, 5% to women's basketball, and 5% to other sports.
Okay, so
softball, volleyball, hockey, soccer, lacrosse.
But then you also
said
scholarship.
Correct.
This is money.
This is NIL money, straight NIL money. Correct.
Okay.
So you're saying $15 million going football right off the bat? That's how much.
Right off the bat.
75%.
And you can't go over a certain number because, believe me, if they had their druthers, Leon, now there's going to be money under the table.
But again, that's not. No. That's just pay for play.
Yeah. This is not NIL.
They're calling it NIL, school NIL. It's not private NIL.
Mm-hmm.
Private NIL is still there. You can still do it.
Absolutely.
Now, what they've done is they've hired a czar, commissioner, whatever you want to call him, of the sport that's going to be doing enforcement. And then they have Deloitte.
Yeah, right.
Deloitte and Touche, the huge. I don't even know what you would call Deloitte and Touche.
They're an accounting firm
an accounting
that keeps
firm,
track of certain things.
They're going to be running the NIL and deciding whether NIL deals are fair market value, which is a complete farce because the market is what the market will pay.
Mm-hmm.
So they're going to go back into court immediately within the next year. I guarantee they will. There will be someone sue them. Some player will sue them and saying, "You're telling me what fair market? There's no fair market. It's free market. It's a free market." So they're going to be right back in court. Now that's why they're trying to get the federal government to help them.
Yeah.
So if they can get the federal government to declare X, Y, and Z, then they have a better chance of controlling that market.
Mm-hmm.
If they can't, they're in deep trouble. They're going to get sued again.
I guess it's just the way.
And they know it. I mean, they look. So the conference commissioners were on a conference call today, a video conference call, and I'll give you like a quick synopsis of what that conference call was. They're winging it. They are literally winging it.
Mm-hmm.
They know there's going to be problems. Jim Phillips, the ACC commissioner, said
they've been winging it.
Said it isn't going to be perfect, but we're committed to progress.
They've been winging it for a while.
And Trev Alberts was saying at the SEC spring meetings a week and a half ago, he was like, "Look, we know there's going to be problems.
Yeah,
we know we're going to make mistakes. We know there's going to be bad mistakes."
And Trev's in the.
But all you can say is, he's the Texas A&M AD.
Yeah,
he said all we can do is tell people we're going to do it. We'll get better.
Yeah, he's in the big chair, and by the way, he has a lot of financial backing at A&M.
So these kids are going to be contractual, is what you're saying. Can you lock in a kid for 2 years?
No, that's the whole thing. Is that
it has to be at some point.
That's what they're looking for the government to help them with.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay. Now,
because you said the biggest problem with the coaching staff is not the money, it's the movement.
Yes, it's the movement. They don't care about money. They care less about money. It's the movement. It's players moving every year. Yeah. That's the problem they have.
And because of that, they're losing control. And control is the most important thing.
Oh,
to them.
absolutely.
And so, it 100% sucks. But there has to be some, and we use the same phrases all the time, guardrails and all that, because you have to have, as much as the player deserves their share of a lot of money that's in the pipe, in the funnel for college sports, they need to still be accountable for their end of the bargain. They should. They have to.
Yeah.
And
that's how you're trying. What they would like to do is see multi-year NIL deals.
Yeah.
But most kids are being advised not to sign them, obviously.
Yeah.
So then they're just going to say, well, we're not going to do it. And then if the schools come back and say, we're only giving multi-years, then they're going to get sued because they're colluding. Mm-hmm. There's no way out of this thing. There's literally no way out of this thing for the schools until they collectively bargain.
Right.
But they don't want to do that because they don't want them to be employees.
Yeah, and then getting in their books and all that kind of stuff. And look, it's
then they really don't have an argument then.
Yes,
right
exactly.
now they don't.
That's why they're hoping this commission that President Trump has decided to build.
You can't have it
the
both
best way to
ways,
say
bro.
it can help them. Right? No, I agree with you. I don't disagree, Leon.
Well, here's the other part of that, Leon, and like I argue this on the other side most often, but they have had it there. They've had it both ways for a long time.
They have. Here's another thing too is if you think like the government's just going to allow the Big Ten and the SEC to make 40% more than everybody else,
Yeah.
you're out of your mind.
Right.
So if the government's going to get involved, and they're going to give,
There's
and
gonna
they're
be
going to put
sharing.
some guardrails, you are going to. What they're going to do is they're going to do like the NFL. They're going to use the Television Act of 1961, I think it is, and those 4 power conferences are going to combine their media rights together. All right, and then which they can make way more than they make right now, but they're not doing it now because they don't. The Big Ten and the SEC don't want to share.
Sure.
So if they're forced to do that, they can make more money.
It's one thing for the whole group to make more, but they're making less.
Right.
Yeah.
So then all those 4 make the same, right?
Yeah.
And then they'll also help the group of 6. So they'll fund the group of 6 as well through that. That's what I'm telling you, that's what the federal government's going to tell them.
So as college football fans, we have to know what the Television Act of 1961 is.
Yes, yes.
I'm so
let me just say,
over
let
this
me,
sport, man.
yeah, no. Let me say this to you though, JJ. You want that because that
Okay.
can get it closer. That will get it closer to what you want it to be, what it used to be, because that's going to give them guardrails as far as player movement. That's going to give them guardrails as far as players just leaving in the middle of
I think that's
in the middle
all
of the season or right before the portals open. That will change all of that.
I think it's a reasonable ask from any fan, and really for that matter, people who are supporting programs with their dollars.
Yeah.
That's a reasonable ask. That is not over the top. That is not stuck in the 80s or anything like that. That is just, hey man, we want to be able to competitively field a football team. We want to know that Big Sur's when he was named an All-American last year, that he's coming back. That he's not going to take that All-America, get double his pay, and go somewhere else after you showcased him or put him. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I guess what I'm trying to tell you, JJ, is if they do that, if you put those Power 4 on the same level as far as their ability to earn what they're earning, and to help the other group of 6.
Mm-hmm.
Then the deal from the government's going to be, all right, well, we're going to give you some immunity as far as from getting sued, which is all they want.
Right.
So then they have a choice. So then the Big Ten and the SEC has a choice. Do we want to continue down the road we're going now, where it's us against everyone else,
right?
And we're going to get our ass sued off every other year or every year, or do we want to just say, all right, let's just figure out what we can do and how much more money we can make with this Television Act, and then we're not going to get sued every year.
Gotcha. So let me ask you a question. As far as the players go, if the government is going to make these conferences so much more money collectively, if they combine, if you're the players, you was like,
oh, they're going to get more.
Okay, that's what I'm about to say. I want.
So
they're all for. If I'm with the players, I want half.
Yeah, that $20 million is just the $20 million that they have now. Is the percent.
Oh, okay.
So it's like 20. It's like 23%.
I'm just making sure.
So if that number goes up, the 23% is going to go up.
Okay, I just want to make
sure.
They'd
rather have percent versus a finite dollar.
And it also
amount.
increases every year. Their salary pool increases every year.
Yeah, because you can't just give me $20 million, then y'all about to make all this money. That means our percentile has to go up as well.
Players are going to get taken care of.
All right,
sure, right?
Hey, I just want to make sure.
And if it ever gets to the point where they go collectively bargain, then they're going to get 49% like
there you
like
go.
the
Like
NFL.
NFL.
But it's a different world. It's an institution versus franchises of a business.
Right.
That's.
But I will say this: that's why the SEC and the Big Ten and everybody in college is holding on so tightly to this, because they don't want to go from giving them 23% to giving them 49%.
Yeah.
That's what this is all about. It's so funny. It's so funny because I like Greg saying, I think Greg's done a hell of a job for the SEC. But he always says, we talk to the student athletes and they don't want to be employees. And I'm like, are you come on. Who are you talking to right now?
Yeah.
Don't be ridiculous.
Yeah, exactly. If employee means twice as much,
if employee means collectively bargain and you get 49%, yeah, I think they're going to be fine with it.
Yeah, they'll be very fine.
And the other part of it is the NIL, and let's just use Carson Beck as an example, because we hopefully will have Denny dropping by here at Deer Creek, that he now has indoor NIL money and outdoor NIL money, meaning indoor from the university and outdoor from the boosters beyond.
Mm-hmm.
That's
correct.
I used to have
they
a cat
will go
like
for that. Yeah.
but not all those players are going to get out.
No, they're not.
They're going to get the private NIL.
Yeah, indoor you get it all kind of flatlined and everyone's accounted for.
And not all players are going to get a lot of money with the indoor NIL.
Maybe not.
There's going to be some that are going to get $5,000 a semester or something.
Well, I was talking. We were with this dude.
That's what all the GMs are for. They're figuring out salary caps.
Yeah.
Doing.
So we get in an Uber when we land in Nashville, and there's this nice dude that's driving us, and he is close to Tennessee State University. Anyway, he mentors kids and whatnot, trying to get them navigate through where they get opportunities to look, maybe partial scholarships and all this kind of stuff. Anyway, he said now he's helping them with NIL because these kids will get money in their pocket. And he at least said with the HBCUs, he goes, I'm helping negotiate where they get $10,000 a semester, $20,000, whatever it is, anything, they deserve it.
Well, here's the thing. If you're smart and you know that this $20 million is going to be allotted to you as far as football, if you're Ohio State's offensive line and you collectively, all five of you say, you know what, this is what we want to get paid per salary.
Yeah.
I mean, wouldn't you listen to them? If you got the starting group of the offensive line for Ohio State, and they go to say, listen, none of us are taking less than $1 million apiece. What are you going to say?
Yeah, exactly, because those are the ones that are blocking for everybody else.
You know, you're saying they go in collectively.
Collectively, if you all of us agree as a unit, hey, fellas, listen, we're going to walk in there and say, hey, listen, all five of us, starting five.
All right, well then
we're going to walk in there and say, hey, listen, we want $5 million.
Well, then all the universities are going to collectively get together and say, we're not going to pay them $1 million. Then what are they going to do?
And then they go somewhere else.
Yeah,
we're talking about five-star recruits.
But they're all saying they're not going to pay them $1 million. Then where are they going to go?
What do you mean?
But you know they won't say that.
They won't say that.
Right, but if they all do, then what?
Then we hit the portal, and we go to another team that'll pay us.
No, what I'm saying is
individually we'll go to different
You're
teams.
telling me if the players say if they collectively get together.
I'm saying the offensive line.
Right. And they get together and say that.
As a unit. Go in there and say, hey, listen.
And I'm telling you, what if all of the universities then collectively say no?
That's the collusion you've been talking about.
Right. Well, that's what the offensive line's doing. They're colluding.
Are we?
As that group?
We don't have the money.
Yeah.
You do.
You're still colluding. Is there still the threat?
Well, you could argue that, I suppose.
Semantics. Go ahead.
Yeah.
I don't know if you call it colluding, but there's still the threat.
All right. Okay. So let's take it into the 3 o'clock hour, and we'll say hello.
We'll have to get Campione or someone to explain that.
Well, exactly.
Yes.
It's nuts, and I'm sure that one of the dudes on that side of it is trying to take a look at this. All right, we'll say hello to Denny Thompson coming up here in just a bit. Mokama Beer Company Monday from Deer Creek with the Walkoff Charities.
So, what did Jeff Prosser do before 1010XL?
He's a world-famous bounty hunter.
Jeff Prosser.
I'm a licensed bounty hunter.
Start the day with laughter.
I hate to toot my own horn, but
The Drill.
Toot toot.
Mornings on 1010XL.
Watch the Stanley Cup Final at the brand new Front Runners Tap House inside the Community First Igloo. Specials include $1 wings and $3 drafts for the Stanley Cup Final at Front Runners Tap House.
Bueller. Stay cooler with Bueller.
Hey, pal. Pretty nice weather we're having, huh?
You think this is nice?
I mean, it's sunny, warm. We do live in Florida.
It's not all upside, Jason. Warm weather comes, so all the cool people hit the beach. My old air conditioner craps out, so it's 1,000 degrees inside, and I'm stuck on a video call in my underpants trying not to sweat through my...
Wait. Put these sunglasses on.
I'm not going to put on your...
Whoa. The air conditioning experts at Bueller Air and Plumbing can keep your home office cool and comfortable all summer long. You look good in your meeting, impress the big guy with your cool confidence, maybe finally make assistant deputy regional manager.
Wow, air conditioning can do that?
Life moves pretty fast. If you spend all summer worried the weather is going to be too nice, you could miss it.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
Life is just so busy this time of year. Between work, the kids' games, family vacations, I need a yard hero to free up my weekends.
You mean somebody who does mowing and trimming?
Yeah.
How about mosquito control?
Yeah.
What about irrigation and pet waste removal?
You do that too? You're my lawn hero.
Find your lawn hero at heroeslawncare.com. Heroes Lawn Care, because every lawn needs a hero.
What does your dream backyard look like? Hey, it's Joe C. and my friends at CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living can design an outdoor kitchen layout custom built to your taste and lifestyle. You dream it, they can build it. CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living. Visit cssoutdoor.com.
Spring has sprung, and so have the bugs. It's Hayes Carline and my friends at Kingfish Pest Control offer an exclusive $99 spring special. That's right, your initial pest control service is just $99. And if you call today, they'll include a free one-time mosquito treatment. Kingfish Pest Control is family-owned, 5-star rated with no binding contracts, and 100% satisfaction guarantee. Call them now to book your service. Only at Kingfish Pest Control, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
The judge swings a gavel and I pound the hammer. I'm not judging, just hammering. Hammer Time with Hayes Carlyon, weekdays on The Frangie Show.
On 1010XL, driven by Kia on Atlantic.
North Florida is growing with lots of new families joining our community. If you're one of them making the move here, your next move should be a call to American Electrical to create the best home automation system, enhancing your living experience. There are many ways your life can be made easier through smart home technology, voice-activated systems, automated lighting, total house temperature control. With American Electrical, they've got everything you need to automate your home and make it your true oasis. Check out American-Electrical.com, powered by professionalism and raising the excellence bar.
I'm Brendan with Checkmate Coatings. We coat it all: garages, pool decks, driveways, and patios. Be the envy of your neighbors.
Checkmate Coatings, your floor's missing piece.
David Garrard here. I've had the PRP treatment from Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, and my knees are really doing well. Platelet-rich plasma treatment may be the answer for whatever is hurting you.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
My son had a meniscus surgery a couple years ago. Went smooth as silk. Dr. Kevin Murphy did it. Was playing tennis in 2 weeks. This is Patrick Malarkey, and I highly recommend
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
I-9 Sports is geared up for fun for kids all over the First Coast with summer and fall registration now open. Kids ages 3 to 17 can get in the gym or on the field with I-9 Sports, covering Clay, Duval, St. John's. And I-9 has all-girls flag football at Oakley, UNF, Fletcher, and Creekside. Plenty of other spots and sports on the First Coast to take advantage of. Don't miss out. Registration now open for summer and fall at I-9 Sports. Enter 1010 in the promo code for a discount.
Here at the Almond Joy Factory, where tropical vibes abound, we use soft, fresh-tasting coconut.
The crunchiest almonds and delicious chocolate candy.
Ah, but do you know what our most important ingredient is? Sometimes you feel like a nut.
Sometimes you don't.
Almond Joy's got nuts and something even way better than that. Yes, Almond Joy is made with almonds and joy.
I'm Drew Scrimshire, president and publisher of the Jacksonville Business Journal. In business, timing is everything. That's why every morning at 8:15, our morning edition delivers the most important business news straight to the inboxes of Jacksonville's decision makers, executives, entrepreneurs, investors, and industry leaders. Want to know what the First Coast power players are reading before they start their day? Join them. Subscribe today to the Jacksonville Business Journal Morning Edition at bizjournals.com/Jacksonville.
You'll always feel good when you send someone a Kuhn Flowers floral or plant arrangement. This is Max Fink with 1010XL, and no matter what the reason, Kuhn Flowers has always come through for me. Order online at kuhnflowers.com. I'm Max Fink with your 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update, brought to you by Baker Glass. The series is all notched up as it makes its way back to the Sunshine State for Game 3 of this spectacular Stanley Cup final. Games 1 and 2 have been lived up to the hype. Both contests went to overtime. One of the most noticeable aspects of the series is the speed of the games and the pace both teams are playing at, where Panthers head coach Paul Maurice chimed in.
It's been fast. Like from the bench, the speed seems to be really good. You know, the first period in game 2, there's lots of action at both ends of the ice, but neither team is casual with their defense at all. Both teams have, I think, really strong defensive schemes. It's just a testament to the quality of the talent level, the depth of the talent level.
Game 3 will begin tonight at 8 o'clock on TNT. It's 90 degrees at 3:04. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Mondays on XL Primetime, brought to you by Mokama. Check out their great craft in the tap room in Fernandina Beach.
having a good time here. You can always have a good time at Mocama. You can definitely check them out in Fernandina, also the Wildlight location, or any craft being sold, be it Total, ABC, or Publix. Enjoy some delicious Mocama. Now, we're at Deer Creek today with the Walkoff Charities. Frank Frangie has his show with Hayes Carline and the great J.J. LaSelva coming up here in just a bit. But, Frank, you just wrapped up your tournament, so we had to grab you real quick just to say hey and thank you, and all the great spread, by the way. Good. Which we enjoyed. And then I'm sure you gave out a bunch of great prizes, and they avoided all the rain.
Yeah, we were very blessed. Thank you, Joe, and thank you guys for being out here. And I sure appreciate 1010 and Steve letting all the shows come out here like we did today and do every day, every year, really. Yeah, it was a great day. We were very blessed. The weather was fantastic. They got drenched a little bit at the end, but they got in about 16 or 17 holes. They got in most of them, and and yeah, we made a lot of money for a really important cause, helping little kids play baseball. Little kids that otherwise couldn't play baseball, and we're really proud of that. And we had more kids than ever. I think you've heard it. I've said the number so many times. People are tired of hearing it. We had 77 teams in our leagues this year. So that's 10, 12 kids a team. So so we're real excited. It was a great day today, but thank you guys for being
out. And Leon, you said it earlier. It's just good to know that you're doing something for the community, right?
Well, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, Frank has always been, even when I was a Jaguar, I remember used to do charitable things for the Jaguars and stuff like that. So, man, I'm just glad to be a part of it. Thanks for having me.
Well, thank you, Leon. That's very kind of you, and it's very kind of you to say that. And I would seeing these little kids get joy out of this, man. Seeing them put this little uniform on.
I was just gonna ask you, does it ever get old to see these kids get those new gloves?
No, but it doesn't matter because I always say this. The stuff that all of us take for granted, we were always going to have a glove. You know, we might not have a lot of money, but I was going to have a glove.
Right.
I was going to have a uniform to play on the team. I was going to be able to play on the San Souci Cardinals when I was 8 years old.
Yeah.
My mom and dad didn't have a lot of money, but they had enough for that. These kids were never going to be able to do that. I think that's what I'm proudest of, and almost to where they almost had resigned themselves to, well, that's okay. Other kids are going to get to play baseball.
Right.
I'm not, and that's okay.
Right.
They were the culture they grew up in is I'm not going to get to do some of that stuff.
Yeah.
Well, if you can change that a little bit, if you can knock that barrier down a little bit, and then it's cool. So it's exciting, and today was great because, gosh, the people to support this thing. We were packed out here today, and more sponsors than we've ever had.
Yeah, the Dailies group, they're awesome.
Aren't they great?
Yeah, and then everyone else, the tour of the Jags, and you can, like you said, you can go down the line with everybody.
Yeah, and I hope people go to our website because we still have those auction items out there. And so we have all kind of items.
WalkoffCharities.com.
Yeah.
And the auction is going until 6 o'clock.
6 o'clock. The auction is up until 6 o'clock, and there really are some really, really good items. I mean, four clubbies to Florida, Georgia. Trevor Lawrence jersey, a Byron Thomas Jr. autographed football.
Will you just let me bid on that club seat deal instead of you upping it every single time?
Yeah,
Will you quit doing that?
Yeah, that one. People like that one. You know, I honestly, Scott Strickland and the folks in Florida are so good. I'm going to ask him for more. Scott, thank you for those 4 every year. Can I have more?
Yeah, why not?
People love them. But yeah, it was a great day.
All right, so WalkoffCharities.com, and you guys will be here, obviously, with your show, telling everybody as far as what's on there, but plenty of good items.
Yeah, there really are. But thank you guys again for having me, for coming out here. Look, there's a lot of things you can do instead of having to sit out here, but thank you guys for doing this.
It's easy for us.
And look, the website is still, the auction's going until 6 o'clock. This is our big money maker. You know, we don't have the revenues that some of the charities have, but this is our big one.
Right.
So anybody that, if you want to help put a glove on a kid's hand, if you want to put a uniform on a kid, and by the way, the people at the tournament, we had a great turnout.
Oh yeah.
So we sold out the tournament, sold out the sponsorships. We just want to now rev up those auction items. So, but thank you guys for being out here. Thanks for letting us help all these kids, and I'm excited. We got mini camp the next 3 days.
Oh yeah.
Mandatory mini camp. We're going out there for that.
Yeah.
We got a golf tournament today and mini camp tomorrow, Matty. Yes, I'm looking forward to it. So, Joe, thank you for having me.
All right, Frank, thanks, buddy.
Great.
All right, so let's go from the Frange man to the quarterback whisperer, Denny Thompson, who's going to come over here and talk a little ball with us. He's back in town from being down in SoFlo.
Now, the quarterback whisperer, Denny Thompson.
Okay, bring it in.
Brought to you by Tyson Sound and Security, security and automation experts, and George Moore Chevrolet.
1, 2, 3.
So we'll use the baseball phrase, out of the bullpen comes Denny Thompson after the Frange man got in here. Denny, how you doing, buddy?
I always said that if the pitching thing would have worked out, which I could throw, I just had no idea where it was going. I wanted to be out of the bullpen.
Okay, I'm going to ask a dumb question because there are plenty of guys that said no idea where it was going, but you were in the strike zone. You just knew that they were going to – you didn't know where it was going when it was leaving the park.
No. I was nowhere near the strike zone. It's like I could pump it in there pretty good, just good enough to where, like, if I hit somebody, it would hurt.
Right.
And then I normally did hit somebody, so it's like, we can't.
Did you happen to see Liam Cohen pop the glove when he threw out the, Oh, yeah.
No.
When was it, JJ, last Thursday night?
Yeah, last Tuesday, I think.
Is that what it was? And he popped the glove, threw it from the top of the mound, didn't cheat, didn't walk to the front of the clay or anything like that. So his quarterback skills came through.
Was this a shrimp game?
Oh, yeah.
Have any of y'all done that? Have any of y'all thrown out a first pitch?
Yeah, I did a long time ago.
Did you gas it?
Well, I told them, I said, Peter Bregan Jr., the great Pedro, he was kind enough to invite me twice. Okay, first time, made it to the glove. Second time, in front of the dish. Didn't get booed, but certainly did not get. I got serenaded a little bit by the crowd. It was embarrassing.
I don't think I'd play it safe. I think I'd try to gas it.
Yeah,
probably wouldn't go well, but I would always be mad at myself if I tried to play it safe.
At least you didn't.
Liam's a dude, though.
Yeah,
Liam's an athlete. Liam's like a football guy. Like I'm excited about Liam. I'm excited about what they got going on down there.
Yeah, Matt wasn't impressed with the throw. So we got to see if Matt can gas it in.
He didn't groove it in. It was just kind of like a soft toss.
Very casual, very quick.
Come on, Liam.
Yeah, but it was quick. He's like, I'm just going to make sure I get it.
It was fine. He got over the plate.
Yeah.
Strike.
Yeah.
Would you have hit it?
Yeah, I think anybody
would have left the park. That would have been one of those.
I don't think he was trying. He was trying to groove it in there.
Yeah.
But just trying to get it over.
Remember they used to do the home run derby thing?
Yeah. Well, Frank was talking about they did the home run derby with this Walkoff Charities at Bregan Field. It was one of their early fundraisers. They had to keep moving the fence in because no one was leaving the quote park.
How deep does the fence have to be for you to feel confident?
I don't know. It has to be a softball field fence, and I don't think I ever left the park in slow pitch softball. Okay, I don't think I ever did. All right, so let's talk some quarterback stuff with you. First off, just coming back from South Florida and everything was good. You're going to be bouncing back and forth, of course, but it was good down there.
Yeah. I've got. I was telling the guys, I've had an apartment down there since first part of May, and I'm moving out of the apartment this coming Friday, so I'm excited.
Right.
I'm excited. Like,
how's your Spanish?
There's a lady that cleans like the whole apartment building that I'm in, and every morning she just chuckles because she tells me buenas noches, and I have nothing for her, and she just laughs at me. So I'm learning, but I've had a great time down there. But I'm excited to leave because that means that we're progressing to the point.
Sure.
Where you get to just kind of hand them off and see what happens. And so,
what are those benchmarks?
Oh man, there's so many of them. But the main thing is just like how does he feel? Mm-hmm. And he feels great, and he's throwing it well. And I love the team they have.
Right.
I really do. I haven't gotten a chance to see defensively.
Leon smiling.
But offensively, the freshman receiver that they have from American Heritage, name escapes me right now, but he's good. Mm-hmm. He's really, really good. I like the kid they got from LSU. They've got some weapons, man. They've got some weapons. So I think it'll be a fun year down there.
Yeah, this weekend, I think it was Legends Camp this weekend. They had a whole bunch of former players there. Heard Michael Irvin give this riveting speech about being a Cane and all this other kind of stuff. But my concerns are not on the offensive side of the ball. I think our offensive line is solid. Wide receiving core, Carson's going to be better. The running game, the defense is. You know what Notre Dame's going to do August 31st.
Yeah.
They're going to line up. They're going to line up against Miami, and they're going to run the ball. They got one of the best running backs in the country. Mm-hmm. And until Miami can prove they can stop somebody on the run,
true.
I mean, this is going to be bully ball.
Yeah.
Malachi Tony, by the way. Malachi.
There you go.
Tony.
Malachi Tony. I'm telling y'all, like,
big time.
This cat's good. This cat's good, man.
Are we talking like Jeremiah Smith good out of the box hot?
He's not that big,
but
he's got that thing to where, like, if he jumps for a ball, like, I'm not comparing him to Tyreek Hill, but it's like that with, like, he jumps for the ball. When he hits the ground, he's full speed. Like, they don't take him any time to get up to speed. Like, he's there, right? And just a smart player. In fact, I want to say he played quarterback the last 2 games for his high school. They had a quarterback that's committed to Texas. And the kid went 15 of 15 in, like, the state championship game at quarterback. And he's just one of those naturally gifted athletes. But to Leon's point, I haven't spent a whole lot of time looking at their defense. You look at their schedule, though. You look at Notre Dame, you look at Florida, and you look at, down the road if they get to Clemson. all three of those are built very similarly.
Yeah.
And you're going to have to force them to throw the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they are going to test how tough you are defensively. And if they can't stop that, it'll be tough. But if they can stop that, I feel like offensively they can score with most people.
All right, O-line. What about the O-line?
The O-line.
Because that's
creatures.
The key. All right, well, that's good because
Creatures.
that's the key for Carson.
Yeah.
Keep him clean.
I mean, and again, we've just been throwing. I've just been kind of peeking over there. I don't do a whole lot with them, but they look good. They look good walking out the locker room, man. I mean, that left tackle, I don't know what his measurements are, but he is one of the, 4 or 5 biggest human beings I've seen.
I think he's like 6'8". But the star on the line is the right tackle.
Yeah.
Francis Marwell.
Right. Yeah.
He's the star there.
But that left tackle, what's interesting about him is, like, when he goes to the combine, I mean, you can't draw up a left tackle that looks better than this.
Mm-hmm.
He's big, he's long, he's quick. Like, he is. I don't know. That offensive line is going to be fun to watch. Offensively, they should be.
Okay, so let's just do this. And again, we're not going to hold you to anything, but when you take a look at units that he was with versus the ones that he's going to be with, because if you think about it, he didn't have necessarily a run game because those guys couldn't all stay healthy.
Right.
And it was Trevor Etienne. It was down the line. They just were injured all the time. Either receivers were injured or weren't eligible. And then the line was good. And then they had the Tate Ratledge injury and a couple. Anyway, unit versus unit. Georgia,
no, I think that was the story of the year last year, right? Like, you look at every position. Tate was healthy, half the time?
Yeah. Just
and then even when he was playing, he wasn't 100%.
Yeah.
They went to Ole Miss, and I don't even think they had a left tackle. I think their left tackle was hurt.
That's why I asked you, man. That offensive line in Georgia was just
so it was. That was tough. And then in addition to that, you had the receivers with, I think, 2 of them got kicked off the team right before the season or right when the season started.
2 best receivers. One was in jail, and the other one was trying to get out of jail.
And he ended up being cleared of everything.
Right.
Which is sad.
Right.
But and he was a Miami kid, Colby
Young,
Colby Young, who's still there. So I think when you take all of that into consideration, assuming that everybody stays healthy, this is a better group.
Okay.
Now, if all of them had stayed healthy, I don't know.
Yeah.
But as it's constructed right now, I think it's an explosive group. That running back room in Miami is good.
Mm-hmm.
The offensive side, I don't know where the weakness is.
Okay.
All right. Well, here's the big question: is it a playoff team?
I don't know enough about the defense.
Because Leon and JJ are.
I don't know enough about the defense. I'll say this: you look at their schedule. They don't play out of the state of Florida till November 1st. That's crazy. They're in the state of Florida.
That's a
all the way
blow of a kiss from the schedule makers.
All the way August, September, October.
If you guys don't get in this year, seriously.
Hey, listen, don't put that in the ether.
Well, but I will say, you look at, okay, so they start with Notre Dame. Right? It's a big game.
At home.
It's a big game.
Yeah.
You got Florida week 3.
At home.
You go to Florida State, which
we don't know what they are right now.
Well, can we all agree Gus Malzahn's going to throw out an offense that you don't prep for?
And Castellano will be good.
Castellano's a pretty good player.
Right. So you got that one. And then obviously, I think I'm not discounting everybody else. You got Louisville. You got all those other guys that have a chance to be decent, Virginia Tech and Pitt and all those guys. But then you look further down the road at Clemson. If you make it there, they're constructed like a really well-constructed SEC team.
Yeah.
They don't have to blitz to get to you.
Yeah.
Yep. You're not going to have a ton of time to throw.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the schedule sets up for them, but it also is enough of a challenge to get them ready as well.
All right.
To answer your question directly, I do believe they are playoff talented.
Yeah,
yes.
and they look it. They do at least check. We'll find out if they can do it. It's that coaching and that late decision game making things that Mario's got to be better at. All right, so we're going to talk. You mentioned Liam. You like the way things are going. Mandatory minicamp coming up tomorrow, so at least quiz you a little bit on that. And then old man Aaron Rodgers with the Steelers. How much better can he make that team? We'll ask the quarterback whisperer coming up here in just a second at Mokama Beer Company Monday and hanging out at the Walkoff Charities Classic.
When the sun goes down, Hacker is up.
Who is that guy?
Ryan the Hacker Green.
You're one of our very special people here.
He'll tell you about tonight's games and hot topics. Hacker After Dark, right after Rick Ballou. Evenings on 1010XL.
When you step into a courtroom, you're stepping into a fight. Someone wins, someone loses. I'm attorney Brett Hastings, and at Hastings Injury Law, we've got the experience you want in your corner if you or a loved one suffer a personal injury or a wrongful death. We're here to fight for you. So if you get hit, Hit back with Hastings Injury Law, offices Jacksonville. Find us on the web at 904hitback.com or call our 24-hour helpline, 904-HITBACK.
Are you ready to reclaim your backyard? Serving Northeast Florida since 1977, Surfside Pools is the trusted name for expert pool design. Family owned and operated, they offer pool service, equipment repairs, commercial maintenance, remodels, and new pool construction. Let Surfside Pools transform your backyard into the oasis that you crave. Are you ready to float happy? Visit surfsidepools.net or call 246-2666. Surfside Pools and Spas, where luxury meets leisure.
License number CPC 044080.
As a Florida homeowner, you're no stranger to mosquito problems. And although it's tempting to use DIY methods to get rid of them, mosquitoes are relentless. That's why it's important to enlist the help of the mosquito experts at Florida Pest Control. At Florida Pest Control, we offer specialized treatment solutions that are effective against mosquito infestations and are committed to keeping our customers protected year-round. For your free quote, give us a call or visit flapest.com today. Florida Pest Control, your local mosquito control experts.
Hacker here for Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Look, the summer has arrived. Memorial Day is in the rearview mirror. It's vacation season for me, and over the next couple of weeks, whether it's a cruise, going out to Las Vegas, I'm going to bust out the tank tops, man. I'm going to show off the bod a little bit. Now, would I have done that 100 pounds ago? Of course not, but thanks to the great folks at Awaken 180 Weight Loss, I really have a new lease on life. It's life changing. I'm in the maintenance program now, doing really well, right? The weight is not coming back on. That's almost as rewarding, if not a little more rewarding. It's one thing to lose the weight. It's something else to keep it off. I've been able to do that with the great folks of Awaken 180 Weight Loss. If it's time in your life to make that change like it was for me, go to awaken180weightloss.com or call 844-346-1800. If I can do it, you can do it. Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
Your yard starting to look a little like a jungle? Well, it might be time for a little TLC. Or how about RTC, Russell Tree Care? At Russell Tree Care, they give your trees the perfect haircut. Whether it's trimming or removing, they'll make sure your yard looks its best, all while keeping safety as a top priority. Call Russell Tree Care today and let them take care of your trees. Russell Tree Care, 844-4Mr. Wood. That's 844-467-9663. Or visit RussellTreeCareLLC.com today. Your trees will thank you.
Say goodbye to glasses and contacts with customized vision treatments at Bowden Eye & Associates. Hey, Hicken here. Dr. Bowden and his expert team bring you all the latest options like Evo implantable Caliber lenses, refractive lens exchange, or traditional LASIK. Tailored just for you. Imagine waking up to clear vision. No hassle, no fuss. You ready to see the difference? Call now or visit BowdenEye.com for a free screening. Bowden Eye & Associates, keeping the first coast focused.
The future starts now. Let's go! Follow 1010XL's coverage of organized team activities, cooked up by Hurricane Grill and Wings and Heroes Lawn Care. Keep the offseason rolling with AA Automotive and 1010XL.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, it's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch every day from lunch to late night? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Right now, they're on their way to disrupt your life, make you uncomfortable, and rob you. Don't bother calling the police. They can't help. That's right. Summer heat and humidity are about to attack North Florida again. You know what to do. Call Mike Merritt. Mike Merritt's Heating and Air has a license to chill. When heat and humidity are attacking you, Mike Merritt provides a comfortable chill at a bargain price. Mike has been keeping North Florida comfortable for 30 years. Mike Merritt technicians are never paid commissions, meaning you'll never be pressured to buy something you don't need. And Mike Merritt knows cooling issues can arise anytime. They don't just happen during business hours. So Mike Merritt never charges overtime fees. When you need us, we're here for you. Remember, in the fight against heat and humidity, Mike Merritt has a license to chill. Visit merrittair.com. Florida license number CACO 50384.
Summer in Jacksonville is coming in hot. Lauren Brooks here. Beat the heat with Turbo Tint. Their window tint blocks up to 99% of harmful UV rays and keeps your ride cool and comfortable. Book today at orangepark.turbotint.com.
Hey folks, Rick Ballou here for John's Auto. They've been a staple in Jacksonville going all the way back to 1985. At John's Auto, they service all makes, all models, cars, trucks, diesel, you name it, they do it. Whether it's routine maintenance or a complete engine overhaul. Call John's Auto on Arlington Road. That's 904-743-3857 or go to johnsautomotivejacks.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Mondays on XL Primetime, brought to you by Mokama. Check out their great craft in the tap room in Fernandina Beach.
You can also log on Mokama.com, see everything that they got going on, and check out some of that delicious crap when you're shopping with a local brew in mind. We got Denny Thompson, the quarterback whisperer, hanging out with us for another seg. We're at the beautiful Deer Creek Country Club with Walkoff Charities. Frank and really the entire staff, they've done another great job as far as raising dollars and making sure kids who otherwise wouldn't be able to enjoy the game of baseball are given a chance right here on the First Coast, which is very cool. You can go to walkoffcharities.com and check out that silent auction going until 6 o'clock tonight. Denny, before we get into the Trevor talk and the Liam talk, Aaron Rodgers, like year to year, especially when you're talking about a guy who looks like he's in pretty damn good shape, right? He had the Achilles injury, came back, looked like he really started to crest up towards the end health-wise last year. Would you agree with that?
Yeah.
Just health-wise?
Yep.
What can you expect? Every day you get a little bit older, especially when you're talking quarterbacks.
Yeah, I think that Aaron Rodgers would not be coming back if Aaron Rodgers didn't feel like he could add to what this legacy he has is.
Mm-hmm.
And regardless of what you think about him and some of his antics, the guy changed the position mechanically. Like he just did. He was the first guy that just said, you know what, this and this don't make sense, and so I'm going to try it a different way. And you know, it looked different at first, and now you see a lot more people, you know, kind of going to that side, and we appreciate that because it was kind of along the same mode of what we were teaching at the time. But I mean, he's done as much for quarterback play and what the perception of it is as a just about anybody. The way he plays the game is just different. And he uses like the rotational force that he uses and the smoothness that he plays with. And I don't know anything about him in a locker room. I don't know anything about anything else about him. But the guy can spin a football, and he can spin a football probably for another 10 or 15 years.
And they've been missing a cube up in the bird.
Yeah, but has he seen that offensive line, though?
Well, but you know what?
It's subpar at best.
You know what?
Relatively, everybody on the offensive line is like 3 years or younger in the league.
You know what?
They play like it.
Best thing for an offensive line, though, is a quarterback that knows.
That's true.
Knows what the defense is doing.
Hey, he's going to have to wave his wand. Now, listen, Aaron Rodgers is a bad man now. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah. And when I say 10 to 15, I'm not saying he's playing 10 to 15 more years.
Yeah.
But the guy just throws effortlessly. And then when you take what you're saying of he's one of those few guys that can walk up to the line of scrimmage and he can look at that defense and go, they're showing this, but I know they're doing this. I've seen this for 15 years. I mean, I think that helps a young offensive line as much as anything can.
So you're saying that the best thing for an offensive line is a quarterback who knows where to go with the ball.
Can set the protections the right way, not be fooled, and knows when to get rid of the ball and where to get rid of the
All
ball.
right, so the obvious question then becomes, why does that not happen here?
Well, yeah. Well, but again, I think we talked about this a little bit last week even was, you know, you're talking about how many years has Aaron Rodgers played?
Yeah, oh, my gosh,
Long time. Yeah, I think we're getting to that here. I think that's the goal. I think that's the goal for any franchise that drafts a quarterback in the first round, much less a number 1 overall pick or a top 10 pick. Like, even the fan base isn't going to want to hear this, but you should dig your heels in for at least 4 or 5 years with that guy, almost regardless of what he looks like early.
Yeah, I think.
All right, so then does that mean this is your?
Yeah, I think. I told y'all.
This is the year.
I think he's Pro Bowl this year.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
I think he's Pro Bowl.
I think the thing that it not like there are Trevor detractors. We know that there are plenty of them out there, and there are Trevor supporters who say get off the man because of all the other things that have gone on around here, coaching changes, coordinator changes, just everything, and the actual personnel that is surrounding him. But there are other players, and let's just use Joe Burrow as an example, that as soon as he got in a Bengals uniform, pretty damn good. And so there are special ones, and Burrow is special. There is no question about that. And so I think that's what fans are wanting to see because of where he was selected, because of what people thought of him before.
Well, you Yeah, and you
can't help it.
You can't help it, and you also, every single day, that comeback win in the first round of the playoffs gets a day removed, right? Day longer, and you start to forget about that. And I will always go back to that game because it wasn't just that they came back; it was that they came back without forcing any turnovers. They did it organically, and they had to score, and they did it. And number 16 is the reason they did it, time and time and time and time again. And you don't luck into that; you just don't. And so if you can just get that chemistry that they had at that moment, and you can maintain that, he's proven he can do it. Yeah. And you just got to surround him with the right system and the right people, which I think they have done.
Okay, so then I guess the obvious question is, because I'm sure there are guys driving around right now saying, okay, well, if it was that good almost 3 years ago, what the hell happened? Why is it here now, all the way down here?
I think there's probably a lot of things that happen. I mean, we've gone through exhaustively of what we thought of the offensive line the last couple of years and their inability to run a football and to protect. And then in addition to that, of just some of the play calling questions that, all of us have sat here and had. Especially in short yardage situations, that 3rd and 1, that 4th and 1, where they're doing something that everybody's like, what are you doing? Well, yeah, it doesn't just cost you that, but it costs you another 6, 7, 8, 9, you don't know, 10, 12 offensive plays on that drive.
Yeah.
Right? So I think now, this is my hope, what has changed is now you've got a veteran quarterback with a whole new staff of people who understand that if they're going to win, it's going to be because of him.
It costs you those extra plays you get to run, and then all the extra plays your defense has to absorb too.
That's right.
And has to figure out a way to stop somebody.
It's not a one-play swing.
Yeah. It's crazy. And the other thing is honestly, line play and run game, that will...
Let me ask you, Leon.
Yeah.
3rd and 1, y'all get stuffed, punter comes out. What does that do to you as an offensive lineman?
Pisses me off.
Right. And it happens again and again. And it's not like they're running right behind you and getting stuffed. Right?
Yeah, absolutely. Because you want any good player wants the pressure on them.
That's right.
Any good player wants pressure on them. So if we don't make it 3rd and 1 and we pull but the offensive coordinator is going to give you an opportunity. But when we come to the sideline, we're mad at the coordinator for not giving us. He said, well, you should get on 3rd and 1. But then he'll give us an opportunity. He'll give us a 4th down. And you know damn well we got to get that 4th down and 1 if he's giving us that opportunity.
I also think Liam being a rookie coach is going to help a little bit, too, with that. Because I think he will lean more on his players a little bit. And Doug Peterson, who I'm a big fan of, has a Super Bowl. And he's done it before. And he's got his way. He's got the way he does it. I don't think that's the situation here. I think 16 is part of the staff in some ways.
I think the thing that got me a little bit is I loved his aggressiveness. He came in aggressive on 4th down, and he left aggressive on 4th down. But the personnel and the play just let him – his aggressiveness did not match up with the talent and the play call decision.
Yep.
And it frustrated the hell out of
Well, then let me ask you this question. How important is it for Trevor to start early and fast this season? I mean, he's got C.J. Stroud. He's got Joe Burrow. He's got Patrick Mahomes. He's got
Josh Allen, Lamar.
I mean, and then he's got Matthew Stafford. The first 7 games, he's going up against top-tier quarterbacks. How important for his psyche that he plays well?
This is going to sound like I'm riding the fence on this, but I'm not. I know every game's important, but it's a long season. If you come out in those first 3 games, it doesn't look beautiful. It is not the end of the world.
Yeah.
I mean, we've seen that time and time again here. We saw that with you guys back in the day of starting off slow and then finishing, and we saw it a couple years ago here. It's going to take a minute.
I agree, but if we lose to Carolina, it's going to feel like end of the world here.
Yeah, it sure is. It sure is. The funny thing is, you can lose to Carolina, and then you can rattle off 2 wins in a row, and nobody remembers a loss to Carolina.
I will.
But I get
in most instances, I would say yes, you're right, but I don't know about this season, man. I don't know about that one. There's a lot. There's a lot.
Matt, you and I both know
they
start. If they lose to Carolina, but start the year 4-2. Don't nobody care about Carolina.
The care thing, you're right, but I can guarantee there will be people saying, how do you lose that game?
Yeah, how did you
lose?
Should be
5-1 right now.
Yeah. Well, there are certain ones that you have to have if you're going to get where you want to go, and those are the ones that you have to have, or you pull off an upset that no one's expecting, which would be the likes of some of the games we're talking about.
Right, but what we say all the time is in Carolina, they're thinking we can get that game. That's gettable, that game.
Yeah.
That season opener is gettable.
The Jags are a W on release night.
Yeah.
On schedule release night, everybody looks at the Jags and says, that's a win right there. Yeah, without question.
Yeah, and when you come down the stretch, obviously, like you said, if you come through the bye week, and we all did our predictions, and we were somewhere around, 4-3, 3-4, somewhere in that neighborhood, and then they started to catch fire because they're going to be facing a Geno Smith-led team. And C.J. Stroud, like Leon points out, is he going to bounce back? He is a good player. He had a little bit of a down year compared to how rock star rookie year that he had. But anyway, you'll see what he ends up doing down the stretch. He needs to be the better quarterback on the field.
Well, if you keep it simple, we're all told that you have 2 generational guys at receiver right now, right? We got Josh Hines Allen, who we're told, and they've paid him.
I was going to say, at least you've paid him. I don't know about being told. At least you've paid him.
And then you've got a number 1 overall pick on the other side of the defense, right?
Who's had back-to-back 10-sack seasons.
Right. So you're and now you've got a quarterback who everybody says is, he was a generational guy coming out.
You got a corner who everyone says if he's healthy can be a top
5,
top 10 corner. Yeah,
you should win.
Yeah,
you should win. And if you don't, then you're just wrong on all of those.
Yeah, because they're right now in a serious position to not just force change, but create change in a good way and start going on the on-ramp to winning instead of being in Suckville.
Do you remember make a baseball? You're a baseball guy, right? So you remember the Astros, how bad they were, like in
oh my gosh, yes,
mid 2000 teens, right?
Yeah.
But they were kind of like the Jags. They were stacking up, and then all of a sudden they exploded.
Yeah, and they were cheating, but forget about that. But anyway, they did win. They did win titles, that's for sure.
That's what this has to be.
Yeah, the Patriots were punchlines, remember?
Yep.
For a long, long time. And then once they got it going, boom, they got it going.
I'm a Saints fan.
Yeah.
I mean, you went to those games with bags on your head when I was growing up.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, there were expectations.
Yeah, Sean and Drew Brees show up.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. All right, brother, man. Thank you as always.
All right, guys.
Denny Thompson, the quarterback whisperer, at Denny_Thompson. Make sure you drop in on X and check him out. We got plenty more coming your way right here with the Walkoff Charities Classic at Deer Creek.
Lap times, tire pressure, and track bar adjustments.
Oh, he's going to get loose.
Sunday in Mexico City.
Bubba Wallace slides up in the outside lane.
NASCAR is tuned up by Maxie's Mechanics on Jacksonville's NASCAR station, 1010XL.
Where does Northeast Florida buy cars? Arlington Toyota. Why Arlington? Selection. Arlington has over 800 new and used vehicles all in one location with everyday low prices. Plus, right now you choose a pre-owned 2023 Camry, RAV4, Tacoma for $0 down and only $388 per month. Or how about no payments till January 2026? Shop in person on Atlantic Boulevard just a quarter-mile east of 295 or online anytime at arlingtontoyota.com.
With 50 years of fabrication expertise and towing products, the family at Cannons of Jacksonville can repair or install precisely what you need to tow with confidence. Visit cannonsofjacks.com, where quality and customer satisfaction collide.
You tired of high energy bills? Replace those inefficient windows and patio doors now. Don't miss Renewal by Anderson's 30th anniversary sale. Buy one window or patio door and get one 30% off. Financing options are available and this offer expires June 30th. Renewal by Anderson, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com to schedule your free consultation.
License number CGC 1527613.
Prosser here. Get those boats ready. The Dailies Old School Kingfish Shootout, presented by Yellowfin, is almost here. It's Saturday, June 14th. Just go to oldschoolkingfish.com to find out more. The grand prize is a Yellowfin bay boat worth $125,000, and with limited boundaries, no bait buying, and no checkout, it is seriously old school. Here's how you do it. You go online, you sign up, and you become part of what was always a terrific tournament. It's the Old School Kingfish Shootout. oldschoolkingfish.com.
It's E.T. here, and did you know that slow speed accidents can still cause serious injuries? Ignoring minor pain today can mean big problems tomorrow. Don't wait. Call my guys at McGowan Spinal Rehabilitation Center, the auto accident experts.
This Date in Sports History is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On June 9th, 1985, the Los Angeles Lakers beat the Boston Celtics in Game 6 of the NBA Finals, with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar winning the Finals MVP.
You've got a lot on your plate. The last thing you need is car trouble. At Maxie's Mechanics, we help you keep your cars, trucks, and SUVs running safely. Visit MaxieAutoRepair.com today for honest service, reliable repairs, and peace of mind for you and your family.
As a law enforcement officer, safe roads are one of my top priorities, ensuring everyone can get home safely each day. Some never will, due to aggressive driving, being distracted, or speeding on the roads. And too often, that results in the toughest part of my job and the longest walk in my life. I'm so sorry. I have some very sad news to share with you.
9 people will be killed on our Florida roadways today. Don't let it be you or a person you love. Buckle up every trip, every time. Let's get everyone home safely. A message from Florida Department of Transportation, Target Zero. For more information, visit targetzerofl.com.
Plumbing problems? AC not blowing? Septic tank doing whatever septic tanks do? Don't call 3 different companies and play contractor roulette. Just call Duck Duck Rooter. We handle plumbing, septic, and air conditioning all under one roof. That's one call, one company, and one bill that won't give you a heart attack. For fast, reliable, and slightly ducky service, call 904-862-6769 or waddle over to duckduckrooter.com. When you're stuck, call the Duck.
Hello, First Coast. I'm sure by now you have seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We're an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We're committed to customer service, reliability, and have an unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today from GFL, Green for Life.
Jimerson Burr is a full-service, Florida-based commercial law firm that has experience and capabilities to handle any legal issue a business is confronted with. Learn more about what they can do for you at jimersonfirm.com.
Frank Frangie here. I was talking to a buddy the other day. His HOA told him his old fence had to go. I said, man, call Coil Fencing. They've been around the block since 1927. Heck, they probably built half the fences in Jacksonville. They do it all. Tough chain link for security, those fancy aluminum ones the HOA actually likes, nearly a century of keeping yards safe and looking good. If you need a fence, call Coil. You can trust the folks at Coil. 904-356-4821 or visit coiljacks.com, COYLE, jacks.com.
Mia here for my friends at Closets by Design. It's been a few months since they built my custom closet. Even my family is obsessed. And with Father's Day right around the corner, why not surprise Dad with his own custom garage workspace? Tool storage, workbenches, the whole works. Closets by Design creates custom solutions for every space, lifestyle, and budget. That includes Dad's. Call to schedule your free in-home consultation and receive 40% off plus an additional 15% off. Visit closetsbydesign.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Now the cool down with Donovan Air, Electric and Plumbing. Keeping Jack's cool since 87.
All right, my takeaway is that, you know what, I can appreciate Liam Cohen having, sustaining minicamp and not doing away with it. Because I know 3 years ago I was infuriated when Doug Peterson gave this team basically a week off. Mm-hmm. So I'm going, listen, I'm getting chills thinking about it. You need reps, all right? There's no substitute for reps. And minicamp, although it's not padded or anything like that, there's still a process of learning, conditioning, fundamentals that you got to work on. So you can't steal that away. And people say, oh, it's marginal, Leon, it's 3 days. No, you got to utilize those 3 days. You got to maximize your effort and get as much as you can out of it. So I can appreciate Liam Cohen telling the team, listen, we're going to get 3 good days of work, and then you're off 5 weeks, and then the real work starts. Mm-hmm. So I can appreciate that, and I'm going to enjoy each and every day, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, of watching this team go after it in minicamp.
Yeah, I mean, my takeaway is get out there and enjoy it Wednesday if you're a fan.
Yeah,
watch
the fans will be invited out that day.
Yeah, go out there and watch it. Enjoy it because there's a lot of competition right now. A lot. There's legit offensive line competition at both tackle spots, and I would think once the pads go on, there's going to be legit competition at the left guard. Mm-hmm. There's legit competition at linebacker with Kaiser and Devin Lloyd. I think there's legit competition at one of the corners, right?
Well, you figure Jari.
I think the slot is legit competition.
Right. No one is written in ink other than Tyson Campbell as far as those 3 cornerbacks in the nickel.
Right.
I think Jordan Lewis is probably penciled close to ink in as the slot, but I like the idea that they were talking about both Jordan and Jarian having some reps there. And I also think that means Travis Hunter can have some reps on the outside.
Right.
I think that's basically the way that you can look at that. Rain falling here at Deer Creek.
I think both safety spots.
Oh, yes.
I mean, Murray, as you paid Murray, but I think both safety spots are open, man.
Okay, but Eric Murray's got experience, but He's not like long in tooth. He definitely has experience. And then you're talking about some other guys that have to prove themselves.
Right.
Savage was a little bit of a spend last year. Okay, make people want to come see you this year as opposed to the way things went last year.
I guess my point is
Antonio Johnson and all these other guys got to prove it too.
This will whet your appetite a little bit this Wednesday.
Yes.
This will make you see, all right, in 5 weeks I'm going to see some legit stuff when training camp opens, and you are literally going to see competition in pads.
It's going to be the biggest treat, really, is just to see where it goes. And look, we talk ourselves into it every year where we think the competition has been ramped up, the bottom half of the roster is better, and all that kind of stuff. And it's probably true. We probably do say that each year. Well, it's because we want to believe it. Okay, we want to think that the guys in charge are drafting and signing better players. And we only know once we see it that it ain't panning out. And so this year, you got to have, it's the same old simple math. Better player, better instruction. Both of them have to be there. Better game planning, all that stuff. And so I like the look of it. I love, like, Jack Kaiser's interesting, Matt. I would love to see that competition unfold. I think he's going to be, to begin with, a special teams star, one of those guys that can be a core four guy and do some things. But then, they drafted him to push somebody, to see what he can do.
100%.
And
yes.
Kaiser, and do you view Kaiser as strictly an outside or an inside? Because he's played a lot of snaps in college at Notre Dame.
I think he's an inside. We'll see.
That's what he looks like to me.
Yeah. I'll tell you something else, too. Muma also has lost weight.
Yeah.
So these guys recognize that they drafted a guy to take their spot.
Well, yeah.
They both did.
Muma's not
Muma
made.
and Lloyd.
Yeah. Muma has not made a mark, and Lloyd has and then hasn't. Has and then hasn't. And so, and he changed positions last year.
Yeah, and by the way, both of them, again, it was just individual drills in OTAs, but both Muma and Lloyd looked very fluid, man. Like they were moving really well.
Yeah, I just have to, I'll go to the football mass and say a rosary for this one. Better coordinator on that side of the ball to make these guys look better. Okay, draw it up, teach them how to do it, and then make them do it.
And they got the memo.
Yeah.
These cats not just losing weight to be losing weight.
Of course.
There had to be conversations on the phone after watching film, and they called the guys, hey, listen, you got to get down. You can't play in my system at that weight. You're too heavy.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll see where it goes. And so the idea over the next 2 or 3 days is just to get a feel for. I don't even know that we're going to guarantee what a depth chart's going to exactly look like once these 3 days are over, because I'm hoping there's still plenty more competition. Back to what Leon said, and basically both of you guys said it, is that once the pads come on, then some serious competition can begin, particularly at lines of scrimmage more than anything else, and just see what these guys can do. That's for sure. Did you guys see the second overtime with the Rangers in Edmonton? The Panthers in Edmonton?
Yeah.
It was awesome. Yeah. And the one benefit about being in Central Time versus East Coast Time is that I was right there for it. Had no problem staying awake for it.
Right.
Totally different.
Game 3 tonight, by the way.
Yeah.
Panthers blew game 1. They had game 1.
Yeah, they did. And so, but it's been a good series to start.
Oh, yeah.
And then both of them up there, and now they're down at Sunrise, correct? For this one? Yeah. And so we will see what that looks like. And then back and forth we'll go between either Stanley Cup Finals or NBA Finals, which will be fun. We'll see how it goes. Right now, this guy, if you asked him to defend the net, defend the goal, he would do it.
Now, the 2-minute drill. Serviced by Cool Cats Heating and Cooling. Locally owned and operated. We're your neighbors. CoolCatsJacks.com.
The coolest cats in town.
The weatherman has arrived in that the Embedded and Shredded brought some damn rain with him. Did you not?
I did.
Did you drive in with the rain, bro? We drove in, it left, and now it's back.
It's been at least 24 hours since we've had rain, so I knew we needed it. But my super Doppler says it's going to stop in about 10 minutes.
Yeah. Okay, good, because JJ was our meteorologist earlier. He warned us to bring rain jackets. We ignored him, and then it poured. I actually have mine, though. You can see I do have mine. I do have mine. I am ready.
That's right. Well, we live in the beautiful tropics, and when you live in the beautiful tropics, in the summer at 4 o'clock, here comes the rain.
Yep.
So that's just part of it. But, we love living here.
Did you watch any playoff hockey?
I did. I fell asleep, though, the
other.
other night after the first overtime.
Yeah.
I couldn't stay up. And so I missed the Marchand game winner. But, tonight, we'll be locked in.
Yeah.
It's been a fantastic first couple of games, and I would expect nothing less as it goes to sunrise. So
that's what I told him. We were in Nashville, so it was an hour earlier for me, so I did stay up.
Oh,
which
good.
was awesome. Yeah, it was good.
Yeah,
I
couldn't do it. But it'll be a fun franchise show coming up. Obviously, we're here to celebrate Walkoff Charities and the outstanding work that they do. So that's been a lot of fun today, and we'll continue to talk about that. We're going to celebrate our Scholar Athletes of the Year, one of our favorite segments of the entire year. Obviously, that's a weekly thing, but at the end of the year, we give out scholarship money. It's Leighton Yates from Stanton, and it's Ben Ward from Atlantic Coast.
Cool.
So congratulations to those two outstanding student athletes, and we can't wait to catch up with them and hear about their college plans and things like that. So lots to get to. We'll talk about obviously the mandatory minicamp starting tomorrow. We'll preview that and talk NBA Finals. A little bit of golf. Should be a fun franchise show coming up.
The thing we talked about that we pointed out real quick, Hayes, is that I do believe that this staff looks at it as mandatory. As opposed to, you know what, just take the next few days off.
Let's not even have it.
Yeah,
How about that?
Yeah.
Let's not even have
really
it.
hard.
Yeah. No, and again, I get Doug Peterson the first year, saying these guys look at a coach and they want to vomit, after the Urban Meyer 1 year error. So I got to do some things to ingratiate myself and build that trust. But then once he did it, he felt like he could never really go back to conducting it. So the veterans were gone, and it would be like 25 rookies. I think now you're going to see what a regular mandatory minicamp looks at. Again, that's no knock on Doug. I'll knock him on other things, but not on that. But I do think now they need to get back to it's 90 men working for 3 days. You're about to have 5 weeks off. Give us 3 good days of work, and then, we'll see you guys.
Leon was preaching.
July.
He knows what mandatory means, okay?
Yeah.
And the definition changed recently for some strange reason. So.
Yeah, and Logan Cook got a big deal today. So we don't have to worry about the punter holding out if that was a concern. Logan Cook happy.
He could have.
I mean,
legitimately could.
It would have been great. Even I think the first time in league history, but there's always a first time for everything. But the punter gets paid in Jacksonville, and look, it's deserving. He's an excellent player. You just hope that there'll be others, down the line.
I want to see less of you, Logan. I want to see less of you.
Yes, absolutely worthy of second contracts here.
Yeah. Hey, listen, I've already called it special teams capital of the world, so he deserves it. All right, brother, man.
Thank you.
We'll be
guys.
listening. Hey, Scarline, Frank Frangie, they will bring it here from Deer Creek. JJville will hold it down back there. We had a good time thanks to Mocama Beer Company. Look for them, mocama.com, or right up there in beautiful Fernandina and Wildlight. Big Sirs. Maddie, we will see you at the mandatory minicamp tomorrow. Josie and JJ, we appreciate all y'all listening to XL Primetime. Got the French show coming up.
We begin with Ed Werder.
Hi, I'm Ed Werder from ESPN.
And nobody knows that team better than our Ed Werder. He joins us from headquarters.